Howdy, folks! How are y'all doing? Cub here, and welcome back to another episode of our Tekkit Legends Let's Play adventure. We're getting right into it. Today is the Nether base. It's the one we've all been waiting for. It's the second build video in as many days. Well, it's been 3 days, but it's the second episode in a row from Tekkit Legends that is a build video, which is very exciting. So we're kicking things off right off the bat here, right in the Nether, and I'm building some stuff, and it's gonna be awesome. So the very first thing I did was, as you saw, I cleared some stuff out from around the bottom of the portal, and then I went back into the overworld to get some building materials, because of course we have some very specific materials that we're using for this base. We're using some crushed obsidian for the flooring, which prevents mobs from spawning inside the base, which is hunky-dory. Makes me gloriously happy. We're also using some obsidian, what is it? It's like obsidian, sapphire glass, whatever. It's like witherproof and it's awesome. So we're building a base that is basically indestructible, which is perfect. It's basically indestructible, which is perfect for the Nether. So here you see I built the portal up on a pedestal because I kind of liked the idea of it being raised up. And then I kind of played around with some barriers there, trying to figure out if I want to have it defended. And then I decided, you know what? It's going to be inside the base. No need to worry. Next up, I needed to figure out how wide the building was going to be. Now, my original plan was to build a tower from the, starting with the portal and then going straight down and straight up. But that changed my mind, and to be honest, I'm not sure why. I still like the tower idea, and part of me kind of wishes I'd gone with it. However, what I did end up going with vaguely resembles a Sandcrawler from Star Wars. I think the thing is, I'm listening to a podcast. It's called Star Wars A Minute, and they go through each of the Star Wars movies, and they talk about each individual minute. And right now, I'm still in the first one, A New Hope, and they were talking about Jawas, and I don't know. I guess some subconscious part of me just decided to build a Sandcrawler, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. But as of right now, you can see I definitely have the outline for a tower, and I'm kind of flying around. I'm trying to figure out, where do I progress from here? What do I do? And I kind of clear out the ceiling there. I try to level it out. I was just really confused going into this because I ended up changing my mind a lot and bouncing back and forth and never really settling on any one idea until it was all done and over with. And I kind of looked back at it and I thought, you know what? That looks funny. But it's the Nether. It's a weird place, so it needs a weird building. So every so often you'll see me disappear into the portal and then come back a long time later. That's because it took a while to get all of the supplies. I had to crush all the obsidian. I had to create all the glass. But at the end of the day, it didn't take too long. Now you see along the top there, I'm using carpenter's blocks. I use carpenter's blocks in a lot of places, and the reason is I can put obsidian in them, and they have the strength of obsidian. They take on the aspects of obsidian, so basically destruction proof. I can also put glass in them, or I can put glowstone in them, and have them glow, which is fantastic because it means, I mean, even though monsters won't spawn on the floor anyway, it does get pretty dark inside there. So that's great that I have that light. I can do some hidden light. I do add some purple lights later though, because I love the purple lamps. I think they look really great in our extremely purple themed build here. But we're about to switch camera angles and you'll be able to see the build kind of from the side here. And I think that this is a great idea to change camera angle. I think I'm getting pretty good at these recordings, which is great because at the end of the month we update to the latest version of Tekkit and I won't be able to do any more of them, but I'm getting better with my camera angles. So here we have this nice sweeping shot of me doing boring stuff, destroying the netherrack, blowing up ores and filling in holes, and ultimately deciding, and this is kind of where it starts here, the build for the massive Sandcrawler shape that, again, I had no idea what I was doing here. I didn't have that picture in my head. A decision had not been made. I was just like, we're gonna need more space than what I've built here, and I just started digging. To be honest, I don't think my mind was really wholly completely on this project. It was just sort of on, gotta get this done, gotta get this done. And it's funny because this took longer than the portal build. See if you can work this math out in your head. This took longer, 2.5 hours. There was more footage. I sped it up, and I didn't speed it up as fast as the portal build, and yet this video is still coming down to almost the same speed as the portal build. How does that even make sense? I don't know, but here we go. I'm putting in the purple lights. I really love the look of them. I think they work really well here. Now, if you're wondering about what the future of the Nether base is going to be, I've got a few things I want to put in there. We're going to have our own power supply in the Nether instead of piping in power from the overworld, which we could do using teleporting power pipes. I wanted to do something different. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, big reactors. Yes, finally. Not so fast. This is the Nether. There's a specific resource here that we can use to create power, so we're not going to be using big big reactors here, but again, as I've said many times in the videos, in the comments, big reactors are going to happen. You don't have to worry. It's going to be a thing, just not yet. I've got plans for it in the future. Just be patient. It's gonna happen. Now here you'll see I've decided to do sort of a stair-stepping situation with the glass. Really, the only reason I decided to do that was not for aesthetic's sake, more so because it would take so long to get all the glass we needed. At the end of the day, I ended up being really happy with it. I decided it was probably the best decision to be made, but it's kind of take it or leave it with this space. I don't think anyone's going to love it. I think several people will hate it, and I think most people will just be like, with it, because it's not that great. Now, I'll tell you right now, building things with obsidian is a pain because it's so difficult to build with, and anything else we build in the Nether will not be using obsidian, because even if you put it inside of a carpenter's block, because the carpenter's block takes on the aspects of obsidian, it takes just as long to break it. So until I build some better tools for breaking obsidian, I think we're going to stick with a different material. It's not so bad here. When I start doing some, well, you'll see, when I start doing some tunnels up toward the roof of the Nether, that's when it got a bit bleh for me. But over here in the back wall, you can tell I don't know what's going on. You can definitely see, though, we're getting that shape, that sort of Sandcrawler shape here. As I'm flying around, every so often I'll fly off and I'll just look at it, and some part in the back of my mind is just like, what am I doing? I don't even know. I think this is probably going to end up getting changed a bit in the future. But again, the Nether's a weird place. A weird base sort of works for it. And I do like the way the front of it leans off over the edge of a cliff. It's really great. There will be a world download. We'll talk about that a bit more here at the end of the video. But you can get in the world and just kind of look out over the Nether, and it looks really awesome. We're going to be filling this thing up later, though. As I said, we've got some machines we got to put in here, some quarries. We're going to do ore processing 2.0 in the Nether, and then pipe back the precious goods that we get to the overworld. So here you can see me finally working on a door. I decided I needed to do something, and I went with a double barrier setup here. And then I put some interdiction torches underneath there, and I don't do that until the end of the video. It's sort of an afterthought, but you'll see me do it when we get to the grand pan. So it's kind of redundant. Monsters can't get in there anyway, but just in case somehow monsters end up getting past those interdiction torches, they won't be able to get inside. They will die trying to get through there because we got that double barrier. Ooh, that was Freudian. Does someone maybe die and we have to bury them? No, it's just a slip of the tongue. Now we're going to change here to another angle, which is very similar, and it kind of works. Now this is one of those moments where I kind of reveal my novice when it comes to recording these Let's Build style videos, because I fill in this hole here, and then I start filling in the roof, and you can't even see me for most of it because I'm behind the wall that I just filled in. But I'm back there and I'm putting obsidian in the roof. Take my word for it. It's happening. It's exciting. Maybe I should have cut it from the video. Here's a bit of behind the scenes for you. I cut these videos together, and then I record the overdub. I do the voiceover. So it's all cut together. I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to leave in the parts where you can't see me, and I'm just doing nonsense. Now, I toyed around with the idea of filling the entire backspace back there with more netherrack and making it look like this thing was pressed up against a wall of netherrack, and that's why it was such an odd sandcrawler shape, which you can really see. It's not a perfect sandcrawler by any stretch of the imagination. It definitely, the front of it doesn't have quite the right shape, but for some reason just looking at me makes me think, oh yeah, there's Jawas in there. They've got lots of droids and they would like to trade them for Jawa-esque things. What do Jawas take money, and where do they spend it? I mean, they get their droids for free. They just kind of pick them up in the desert and apparently steal them, because when Luke mentions to Lars that he thinks R2 and C-3PO were stolen, Lars is just like, well, yeah, duh. So, but what do they do with the money when they get it? Do they buy food? Who sells food to Jawas? They're really obnoxious. This is all aside the point, though. We're gonna change to the inside here where you'll see me, and this is where I got so fed up with the obsidian, was trying to build these obsidian hallways. It takes, and it doesn't look like it takes that long here in the video, but it just takes so long to break these things. It's, ugh. So I did 2 hallways like this, and the reason is we're going to be extracting ores all the way from the top bedrock layer to the bottom, because there are some ores in the sort of the top layers of the Nether that we want to extract as well. So I built this hallway and then realized it's not tall enough. So what a waste of time this hallway is, although it does work kind of as an observation deck. I kind of like it. Then we move on to the second hallway here, which goes all the way out to the front, and It's sort of hard to tell in this video, but when we get to the next video, or when you download the map, you'll see where these are. They're basically right on top of the base, and you get to them either by flying or via ladder. But you go out to the end, and that's where we're going to put our first quarry. And in fact, you could probably beat me to it by downloading the map and putting quarries in there yourself. But the idea is you go all the way up to the top, you place your quarry, and we're just going to sort of build off to the sides from there. I would like to envision just completely strip mining all of the nether, and then just you go to the nether and we have our base, and it's sitting on like a pillar of netherrack, and then everything about it is just void. That would be fantastic. Now, some of you may be wondering, what about lava? We have quarry fixers. Totally going to take care of that situation. That's why we demoed them already. We use them in the overworld to get rid of water and oil. We're going to be using them here to get rid of lava, so we're going to be just fine. Now, as we kind of close off here and we go into a big sweeping shot, which you'll see right about now, of the finished product, which I'm completely happy with. I love the way it turned out. I want to go ahead and let you guys know how you download this, because there's been a lot of confusion in the past. In the description of this video, there will be one link. It's the very first link you see. There's a description of the video, and then that second line of text there talks about going to the playlist for this series. Go to the playlist, and all the links will be there. You have to be a member of Cub's crew. Follow the links, download it. I'm not going to explain it to anyone in the comments because I shouldn't have to. It's very simple. Link in the description. Follow it. Do the things it says. Get the map, enjoy it, or don't. I'm not going to force you. Now, the video ended here for me. I'm not sure why. What the heck? Oh, no, there it goes. It keeps going. For some reason, the end of the video was cut short. Oh, this is awkward. Now I don't know where to stop talking. I'm placing some interdiction torches under the door there. Whatever. I'll just cut this and make it work. I might have to... the last couple of build episodes have not been very professional. You've seen the behind the scenes. You've seen the dirty stuff that goes into making these. The adjusting audio on the fly because Windows resets it with updates. But let's pass inside here. It's terrible sound. I think I'll leave that in the video so you guys have to suffer too. Oh, look at that. I got stuck on the ladders. Didn't even notice that. Camera Studio, everyone. Not a perfect mod. There's a new version for 1.8 that we'll probably look at some point. But as we wind this video down, I just want to thank you all for watching the Nether. Episode 31, Nether base is finally built. Next episode, we'll furnish it and get to work. Bye!